Okay, well, welcome. This is a live Q&A, weekly live Q&A on Trauma Recovery University. My name is Athena Moberg, and I show up here every single week, and I talk to you, the adult survivor of childhood abuse community, specifically childhood sexual abuse usually. And tonight is very special. We show up with a different topic every single week, and this week's topic is emotional neglect during childhood. How do we recognize it? How do we heal from it? So hopefully you all can see me and hear me okay. You guys up there on Facebook Live are troopers. You have been here all along. You are so welcome, Steffi. Oh my goodness. Hey, John Harvey. John Harvey says YouTube's working now. Awesome. Okay, you guys. So this is what I'm doing, just really briefly. By the way, trigger warning. If you've experienced any type of childhood maltreatment, then this broadcast could be very triggering for you. We discuss childhood abuse and sometimes childhood sexual abuse. And this week's topic is emotional neglect during childhood. How do we recognize it? How do we heal from it? And for the first time ever, I am on Periscope. Yay, it's working. Oh, I'm so glad it's working. Okay. So for the first time ever, you guys, I'm on Periscope, I'm on Facebook, and I'm here on YouTube live with you guys. So hi, Amber. I am so excited that you're here. So what I'm going to do now that I know that everything is working, okay, now that I know that everything is working, I'm going to just stay here with you guys, and I'm just going to check and see. I have awesome volunteers who are moderating. Dawn and Matt are sort of moderating right now, and Jack is over in the YouTube chat box, and Kalisha is she moderates and manages the Instagram feed over at Survivor Community over on Instagram, and she's actually here on Periscope with us tonight as well. And then Maggie, our research intern, is in the middle of a whole bunch of moving and other things right now and dealing with some stuff, but she's super awesome and amazing. And I just want, you guys, I just want to say thank you to all of you guys, all of the volunteers. And Hazel is stepping up, and she's moderating a whole bunch of our private secret support groups, virtual safe groups. And I couldn't do any of this without all of you guys. Emotional abuse is very hard to deal with as a child. I want to say that before we get started, okay? Emotional abuse as a child is just as traumatizing, if not even more traumatizing, than other forms of abuse. And what do I mean by that? When a child has love withheld from them during their formative years, it's as though you cut off their oxygen. Like if they're breathing through an oxygen mask, right? And then you pinch it and cut off their oxygen. That's what happens when you withhold your love from a child, because they survive on your love. They're dependent upon you, the parent. And if you are an adult who's a survivor of childhood maltreatment and you were physically, verbally, emotionally, sexually abused as a child, first of all, I'm so sorry that you endured that horror. You should never have endured that horror. No one deserves to be treated that way. And second of all, healing, hope and healing is possible, okay? Hope and healing is possible. We have virtual safe groups set up, and emotional abuse as a child is so hard to understand, and I am here to answer your questions. This is from a lived experience perspective. I am a certified professional coach. I work solely and specifically with adult survivors of childhood sexual abuse who were raised in undiagnosed personality disorder or families of origin that are dysfunctional, where there were addictions, lots of adverse childhood experiences. So 100% of my clients are from that environment. So if you were abused during childhood and perhaps your abuse was outside the home, these videos might not be as helpful for you, but you are welcome here. We have a huge, amazing community of people who just love to support and help one another. So you're welcome to be here, and we're super excited that you're here. And I just want really briefly to just say a very special welcome to everybody on Periscope, because this is my very first time even using Periscope. And hi again, Kalisha. This is my very first time using Periscope, and I want to say thank you to Ava over on Periscope for sort of walking me through and like telling me just a couple of pointers. And by the way, all of those little hearts on Periscope are amazing. They're so encouraging, and I don't even understand. Like, it's just so awesome. I don't even want to put my water down because I want to be able to see all the hearts. Thank you so much, Stu. Thanks for all your support, you guys. And thanks to all of you amazing peeps. Oh my goodness, there's almost 20 of you up on Facebook right now, live right now, all at one time. And that's the most ever on Facebook Live all at one time. So thank you for being here and for being patient. So we have a lot, you guys, we have a lot of peeps. So I'm gonna just check over and just see what questions you guys have for me, because I have moderators that are helping. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of questions. So I am just going to drink my water really quick, and then I'm going to get to your questions. I am based out of Hawaii, and I do all of my work virtually on Skype and telephone and FaceTime. And I have clients all over the world. I have clients in Canada. I have clients in Ireland. I have clients in the United States, Australia, New Zealand, and it's amazing. Ava, you should come visit me in Hawaii for sure. I'm a certified professional coach. I studied with the International Coaching Federation. And I chose trauma recovery as a modality since I've been studying trauma recovery personally outside of coaching. I've been studying it for 17 years. So I'm not, how would you say, I am not traditionally educated. I do not have I'm not a master's level therapist, and I'm not a part of academia, but I am passionate. I am also a survivor, yes. I'm an adult survivor of childhood sexual abuse and trafficking. And I have heard the good news. Yes, I have. Hey, Jordan. Yeah, I am a survivor. And I'm coming from a lived experience perspective, and I'm going to take some water, and I'm going to answer a whole bunch of people's questions. And I wish I could just stay fully present on Facebook with you guys and stay fully present right here on YouTube, and then be fully present. Praise God, amen. I wish that I could stay fully present and like with all the hearts and all of the things happening. And thank you so much, Stu. I take that as the highest compliment coming from you, my friend. You guys, hey, invite your followers. I heard that you can this is my first time using Periscope ever, but I heard you can like invite people. So if you know anybody in your followers that might be an adult survivor of childhood sexual abuse or any type of child abuse, and they just want to heal in safe community with other people, then you may invite them. And oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is amazing. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Simi. Okay. I'm gonna start. Okay, I have a ton of questions already coming in, so let me just get watered up, and then I'm going to start answering questions. Thank you so much, Sharon. Thank you, Simi. Hey, Brad. Thanks for inviting people. You guys are amazing. Hi again, Sarah. If you would like a fancy cozy for your coffee cup or mason jar, you should look up Love Jungle Crochet on Etsy. It's one of our peeps, our survivor peeps, Christy Q, and she's amazing. I am doing very well, Brad. Thank you for asking. How are you? I don't even want to put my water here because I want to be able to see all the hearts. This is so cool. Okay. All right. Okay. Thanks so much for retweeting and for inviting. I'm glad you're doing good, Brad. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to answer a whole bunch of people's questions. If you have questions regarding childhood abuse, childhood emotional neglect, and healing, then please, hi, Amber. Thank you for sharing, you guys. Thanks for all the hearts. Then please ask your questions, and then we have amazing moderators that are helping out today. So me too, Dawn. Christy Q made it for me. She's amazing. Okay, so here goes, guys. I'm going to start answering some questions to the best of my ability, all right? Thanks for all your patience today. Next week is going to be much smoother. I'm claiming it. In Jesus' name, I'm claiming it. I'm going to have a much smoother technological deal happen next week. There's not going to be so much going on. So Sarah Ann says, I told my mother about my abuse as a child from my brother. She told me to stop making up lies out of jealousy and made me endure that sexual abuse for years. I was thinking today that part of me will always hate my mother. Is this okay and healthy? And I mentioned a little bit earlier to Sarah that framing that, like today, right now, I feel angry. I feel betrayed. I feel sad that I never had a childhood. I wished I would have had a normal relationship with my mother and my brother. Why was I born into this family that perpetuated my abuse? I feel hatred towards this person right now in the present moment. And my feelings are valid because feelings are feelings and they're not right or wrong. They're my feelings, and feelings are indicators. That to me is a healthy framing of our reality. And if you were my client, I would be coaching you, and I would be saying, you know, how you're feeling right now in the moment, then I would say feel all those feelings so that you have an opportunity to heal. But projecting how you're going to feel forever, or always, as you stated, always, I don't know how healthy that is. So I would focus on the now and feel every feeling that you have, whether it's anger, hatred, betrayal, frustration, sadness, grief, whatever it is that you're feeling. I would say, and sometimes I feel all of those feelings, Sarah Ann, towards my father for allowing me to be sexually abused and exploited by my mother. And then like a moment later, I'll miss him, or I'll feel love toward him, or I'll think of him fondly. And it's that mind muckery, it's the dissonance. It's the good and the bad. That no one is all good or all bad. It's always a mixture of both, and it's very difficult for us to heal if we say we're always going to feel some way. We're always going to feel pain. We're always going to feel anger. We're always going to feel hatred. It's good to feel what we feel today, right now, in the moment, and own those feelings right now so that we don't numb them, stuff them, or avoid them. Because remember, when we numb, stuff, and avoid, and we don't feel all of our feels, we will never heal. Amber says, but what does it mean? What I mean is I have lots of regrets because my mom and I didn't really, okay. Sorry, I need to try to, I promise I'll do the very, very, very best I can to get to every single person's comments and questions. But yeah, I would say feel all your feels, always. Honor those feelings that you're having, because if you do, you will heal. Even if it hurts in the moment, as we choose to feel our feelings, we will heal. If we choose to numb them, stuff them, and avoid them, we will not heal. We must feel all of them, accept the reality of what it is that really happened to us. Sarah Ann says, if there is a part of me that hates her forever, is this healthy or normal? I'm trying to mend my relationship with her, but I don't think I can. I want to say this. I want to go on the record saying this as well. Sometimes we need to choose who it is that we mend our relationship with, right? Sometimes going out on a limb and exerting ourselves in a way that forces us outside of a space where we feel emotionally safe. Sometimes going out of our way to mend a relationship with someone, that we need to make sure we're doing that for the right reasons, and that is for our mental and emotional well-being, and not to please someone else or to earn someone else's favor or to cause someone else to think of us as the good daughter or the good aunt or the good uncle, the good niece, the good nephew, the good person. If we're reaching out to mend a relationship out of people pleaser behavior, that's always coming from an unhealthy space, and it will not warrant good things for you. You will likely lose part of your sanity. Because remember, we have to establish and maintain healthy boundaries. I hope I'm staying on track here, you guys. Yeah, trust and forgiveness are not the same thing. And hello, forgiveness and reconciliation, you guys. Can I get an amen here? They are not the same thing. Forgiving someone and reconciling with them, it's not the same exact thing. Hey, Pedro, nice to see you here. Forgiveness and reconciliation are not the same things. They're not. If you forgive someone about something, which tonight's topic is not forgiveness, but I can cover forgiveness in another live stream. If I forgive someone, it means I'm releasing the need to change the past. It doesn't mean that I'm saying that their behavior was okay. And if I'm reconciled to someone, it means that I am choosing to be in relationship with them regardless of how they treat me. And that's not something I'm willing to do with people who are predatory and emotionally abusive. So we always need to keep our sanity in mind, establish and maintain extremely healthy boundaries. I recommend the book titled Boundaries by Townsend and Cloud. I recommend the book titled Safe People by Townsend and Cloud. I'm not an affiliate or anything. I just recommend it because it's super duper duper healthy. So hopefully that helps. Candy says, how do I let go of anger towards my mom who let the abuse go on when she doesn't even accept her part in it? Candy, your mom and my dad, same. Letting go of anger is something that is a process, and there's no perfect science to it. I would say for me personally, Candy, I want to look at you. So Candy, letting go of anger, the anger I felt towards my dad, it was something I had to choose to do for my own benefit and not to please him. If we are choosing to let go of anger and doing things to please someone else so that they will be nice to us or abuse us less, that's never healthy. So what I needed to do is I needed to choose to, hi there, I'm so glad you're here, JSL0322. Thank you for being here. You know, when we let go of our anger and release our anger about a parent that allowed us to be sexually abused or physically abused or emotionally abused or verbally abused or abused in any way, shape, or form, we need to really check in with ourselves and figure out why it is that we're releasing that anger. Why is it, right? Why is it that we are choosing to release that anger? Are we choosing to release that anger because we want to be the healthiest version of ourselves? Are we choosing to release that anger so that we're not consumed? Or are we choosing to release that anger so that they will like us or love us or show us their approval? Because sometimes we get addicted to that approval, right? Sometimes we do. Oops, sorry, I moved you guys, didn't mean to. There we go. Okay, hopefully that still works. Okay. Yeah, or if they'll hurt you less. Exactly. We don't want to, what we want to make sure that we're not doing is we want to make sure that we are not trying to earn our abuser's favor. We want to make sure we are not trying to earn our enabler's favor. Okay? We want to make sure that, hi, aloha, Ohana. I'm so excited that you're here. I haven't seen you in so long. Oh my goodness. So good to see you. Yeah, we need to make sure we ask ourselves why it is we're letting go of that anger and make sure we're doing it for us, for our own emotional and mental well-being, and not for the purposes of pleasing someone. I hope that helps. Amber says, I tend to be hypervigilant to other emotions, adjusting myself to their moods because I want the positive feedback and I remember always being wrong. Oh my goodness. So this is exactly what I was talking about. This is exactly what I was talking about. So if we are afraid to show anger or frustration, or we're afraid to show any type of emotion that is not good because we want other people to be like, you're so nice, and gosh, you know, I really appreciate you, or we want to earn their favor, then that's never coming from a healthy place, and we're only going to cause ourselves duress. It's really, we got to really be mindful of why it is we're doing the things we're doing. Oh my goodness, hi, it's good to see you too. It's my very first time on Periscope. I hope. Hi, Mickey. Yeah, it's my very first time on Periscope. Thank you for all the hearts, and thank you for inviting everybody and retweeting and all of that. Oh my goodness gracious. Attract those who do the same outside your family. Yeah. You know, it's really difficult when your family happens within your family, when your abuse happens within your family unit. It sets you up for unhealthy boundaries moving forward throughout your entire life. You really need to learn what a healthy boundary is. You really need to learn what a safe person is. You really need to learn how to navigate relationships. And the only way to do that is to learn. So good to see you. Oh my goodness. Welcome back, Sharon. Welcome to everybody. Yeah, it's really painful when we are set up to fail. And if our abuse happens, you're so welcome, Candy. Dawn says, my first therapist gave me tools to safely explode my anger. Great tools. That is so healthy. I know one of my coaches, one of my practitioners that I shared my story with, who was trauma informed, actually had like an anger pillow and wanted me to like scream into this anger pillow. And I'm like, I'm just not angry yet. Like, I just don't think I'm angry yet. Like, I know that I was sexually abused. I know that I was trafficked. I know that I was sexually exploited. I know that I was lent out, traded, unwanted, all these other things. And that really sucks. And that makes me really sad for a younger version of me, but I'm just not angry yet. So I had all these tools to help me with my anger, but I wasn't angry yet. So it was interesting. So good to see you. It's my very first time doing Periscope. So thank you for all of the hearts and the warm welcome. I'm just so grateful. So yeah, Amber, if you could allow yourself to really, now if you could shift your hypervigilance on your emotions and you could just be mindful of all of your other emotions, adjusting and allowing yourself to really feel whatever it is. If you're hypervigilant towards certain emotions, that means that you can actually shift that and perhaps be mindful and when you are seeking positive feedback and you're actually have a knowledge that that is what you're doing, Amber, if you could shift that and be like, you know what, I'm feeling angry right now and I'm going to honor that. I'm going to honor the fact that I feel angry right now. I feel angry because I feel frustrated because I feel, you know, however it is you're feeling, and then allow yourself to go there, you know, honor that, because then you'll heal. JD says, I was sexually abused by my brother too. He was just a quote unquote troubled kid, and that's what has been repeated about him. I grew up taught to believe that and taught to treat him like a brother, even after I told on him at 8 years old. Although he was sent away with some minimal criminal charges, he was charged as a minor at 16, not an adult. And then when he was released, we had to treat him like nothing ever happened. I'm getting back some blocked memories in therapy. Now I don't know how to feel about my parents. Is it emotional neglect or abuse to bring him back around me and act normal? I want to look you straight in the face, JD. Where is your face? Let me get out of this screen. Okay, wait, actually, where was that question from? Are you on Facebook? Where are you? You're on Facebook. JD. Yes, that is enabling. That is enabling. That is neglect. That is abuse. It is wrong. No parent, no responsible adult should ever place their child in a situation where they're being minimized, abused, and taught to not feel their feelings and taught to just accept abusive behavior as though it is acceptable. So yes, that is abuse. And yes, it is minimization. It is denial. And it is wrong. Yes. Wrong, wrong, wrong. A million ways wrong. Hi, Mike. It's good to see you. Welcome. It's my very first time on Periscope. So, yeah, JD, I am sorry you were treated that way. It is abuse, and it is wrong that you were expected to be treated that way. Wrong on so many different levels. Wrong, 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 wrong. Hi, Hunter. What's up, everybody? Woo, woo. High five. Do the insensitive and minimizing comments of enablers after the fact count as emotional abuse? Yes, you guys. Minimization, denial, that is abusive. Like, for instance, yes, 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 Hunter. First of all, thank you for asking the question. Thank you for being here. Oh my gosh, thank you, Vinny. I'm so blessed that you're here. I'm so excited. I'm excited that you're here. Thank you for the hearts. My very first time on Periscope, Vinny. Thank you so much. Yes, some people do block it out completely and only remember key phrases. Yes. Yes. Some people do block it out absolutely completely, like their brain is protecting them. Hi. I'm so happy you're here. It's my first time on Periscope. So yes, Hunter, the answer is yes. It does count, most definitely. And I want to say this, you guys. I want to say this, you guys. I want to say that the safe groups that we have in place, like when you guys send a message and you are requesting to be included in a virtual safe group, in the guidelines of the safe group, Hunter, this is specifically answering your question. I'm hoping you are still here on YouTube, Hunter. Someone tag him. So every single one of our groups, we have a whole bunch of them. So we have one for women only, we have one for men and women, we have one for narcissistic abuse only, we have one for LGBTQI+, the LGBTQ community. We have a faith-based group that's starting up for a lot of survivors that want more of like a faith-based perspective, like healing from a faith-based perspective. We have a group starting up about food issues, like survivors that are living with food issues and healing from food issues from a trauma-informed perspective. I'm saying all of that to say this, and that is 100% of our groups have a rule, and that is that there is zero abuse allowed and zero minimization allowed. You're not allowed to abuse or minimize someone else's truth. And you're not ever allowed to deny or minimize another survivor. You're not allowed to deny their truth and what it is that happened to them, their history, their abuse story. You're not ever allowed to minimize what it is that they've gone through. Yeah, this is my very first time on Periscope. Yeah, I went in like a private group earlier and said, hi, I'm on Periscope for the first time. Am I doing it right? But like, this is my very first time, like publicly. So thank you. So the reason that our groups have a zero tolerance policy for abuse and minimization of any kind is because abuse and minimization are re-traumatizing. And you being in a safe group is so that you will receive less trauma, not be re-traumatized. So minimization and abuse, if those are re-traumatizing you, which they do, secondary trauma, that is counterproductive and it stops your healing journey. It keeps you stuck. And I never, ever, ever want any of our survivors in our groups to feel stuck, right? So abuse and minimization are abuse. New wounds, exactly. You're opening up old wounds, you're creating new wounds, and it's re-traumatizing. And so if you're being re-traumatized in a safe group, in a virtual safe group, then it's better off for you to not be there, right? Or the person that's moderating the groups, that would be me, except for while I'm here. Thank you for all the hearts, you guys, on Facebook. Oh my word. And on Periscope also. Hi there. Thank you for being here. If you guys are being abused or minimized within our virtual safe groups, then I need to know about it. Hazel needs to know about it. Matt needs to know about it. Bobby needs to know about it, because that's counterproductive. We want to make sure that you're never, ever, ever minimized or denied or abused within a safe group. Virtual safe groups are for healing. Yeah. Healing, virtual safe groups. Hope and healing. That's what I'm talking about all the time. I'm so happy you're here. Eva, he's one of the main volunteers that helps make this happen every week. It's amazing. Hi again, Sharon. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for all the hearts, you guys. Oh my word. Okay, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna answer some more questions here. He is definitely awesome, most definitely. We're so blessed to have him. Sarah says, whenever I would quote unquote mistreat my abuser, my mother would hit me and withhold her love, her attention, and her affection for prolonged periods of time. She would always shoot me the crazy eyes if I got out of line, AKA not acting how she wanted me to. So yeah, that is emotional abuse, big time. And we're gonna, I have a screen share that I wanna go through line by line by line, what is emotional neglect. And for those of you all on Periscope, what I'll do, I don't know if I can do this on Facebook, but I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna do a screen share on YouTube Live so you guys can learn about emotional neglect during childhood, how to recognize it in adulthood, and how to heal from it, okay? Because it's important. Ashton Smith says, I stayed silent about my abuse for 16 years. How do I learn how to cope with the feeling like I betrayed myself? Ooh, oh my goodness, Ashton, first of all, you are not alone. I know that this question was asked 15 minutes ago, so Ashton, I'm not sure if you're still here. I hope you're still here, but I want you to know, first of all, that you're not alone, and that many of us have gone through this and felt this way. And, you know, even the very way that you've worded this, I want to go back and read this. You were, and you want to learn how to cope with the feeling like you betrayed yourself. So it's important for you, Ashton, to come to the realization that children are never held responsible. So if you were a child, you're an adult now, I'm assuming. And if you were a child during the time when your abuse happened, children are never, we are adults now, and we are reasoning as we are adults. We can't ever look back at the child version of ourselves and be like, well, we should have known better. So the quick answer to your question, Ashton, is self-compassion, self-care, self-love, a lot of patience, a lot of kindness, and I'm a certified professional coach. I studied with the International Coaching Federation, and I've been studying trauma recovery and going through my own recovery journey for about 17 years. I'm not a master's level therapist or a PhD. So I'm not a part of academia. I'm not traditionally schooled. I hope that answers your question. So, but I'm so glad that you're here, and really glad that you're here. And thanks for all the hearts and the kindness. Oh, I'm so happy that you asked, Sarah, and thank you, Vinny. Yeah, I'm a certified professional coach, and I've just been like, you know, studying this and healing myself for about 17 years now. So this is all from a lived experience perspective. So I do need to put that in my bio at some point so that that will be very self-explanatory. But yeah, I have the same issues too, Liz. I do. I have the same issues, JD and Sarah and Liz. I really do. I have, and you guys, this is all, like, we all have such similar situations, right? And it's important that we all are so kind to ourselves. Ashton, I would honestly try to practice a lot of self-compassion. If I could sort of like tell you to Google some things, Ashton Smith, I would say Google inner child work. I would Google radical acceptance, self-compassion. A lot of DBT will be very helpful for you. Dialectical behavior therapy, those sort of techniques. That was really, really, really helpful for me. And some neuro-linguistic programming as well. But I would seek out, Ashton, if you have not gotten in touch with a trauma-informed practitioner, either a therapist, a counselor, a coach, someone who's trauma-informed. That is the biggest, 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 biggest deal right there. Someone who's trauma-informed. And remember, you guys, trauma-informed is these are the things that are going on right now, and this is our trauma. We can't deal with the symptoms that are going on right now without always addressing where the symptoms came from. I do these 5 things. I want to stop these 5 things. But why do I do these 5 things? I'm numbing, stuffing, and avoiding because something like this happened when I was younger, and so I haven't wanted to deal with it. So trauma-informed is we always keep what's happening now and what happened before. We always keep them in mind when we approach the healing path with both perspectives always in mind. We don't ever treat symptoms only like a medical model, and we don't only treat past like a psychological model. What we do is we marry the psychological model and the medical model, and we have a trauma-informed model, trauma-informed perspective. And to me, that is the most effective way to heal from trauma, especially if you were silent for 16 years, you're struggling to cope with feelings of betrayal, that you betrayed yourself. And I hope that's helpful, Ashton. I really hope that's helpful. I hope someone can reach out and let Ashton know that the question finally got answered. Sorry, it took me a little while. Deborah, I know it's 30 minutes ago you asked this question, but how does one with DID feel the emotions when it means to lose time? Deborah, I'm not a specialist in dissociative identity disorder. However, I have recorded some videos on dissociation, and I know that sometimes depersonalization comes into play as well. And with DID, a lot of times DBT, dialectical behavior therapy, and some of that modality, the intricacies of DBT really, 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 really help. And I know a lot of practitioners, when they're working with clients who are living with dissociation or even possibly DID, I know they do a lot of safe place imagery, and I think the DBT skills is what really helps them the most, is because it's a lot about mindfulness and it's staying in the present. And learning how to feel things in the present moment is a skill. That's why they call it DBT skills. It's not something that comes natural to someone who dissociates. So I hope that's really helpful for you. You guys are so awesome. I'm so grateful. This is amazing. Okay, you guys are all still here. This is incredible. I think we have officially like quadrupled our reach. You guys, we have officially quadrupled our reach. We're reaching like 4 times as many survivors as we were a few weeks ago, even a month ago. So go us. We're reaching people, you guys. People are experiencing hope and healing because of you. Because of you. So excited. I hope that helps, Deborah. Let me know. Welcome back, Vinny. How is emotional abuse defined? Great question, Steffi. Great question, Steffi. You're amazing. Way to keep me on track. I have, I'm so happy to hear that, Rhonda. Seriously, thank you. Steffi, that's a good question. And you're keeping me on track. Tonight's topic is emotional neglect and emotional abuse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, I have a screen share that I'm going to be sharing right now in a moment. And that will help you a lot, Steffi. I hope you can stick around for that. Steffi, are you able to hop over to YouTube Live so that you can get access to the screen share? Otherwise, let me know. You guys, if you don't have access to YouTube Live and you want this screen share, can you please send an email to nomoreshameproject@gmail.com, and just in the subject line, could you please put emotional neglect screen share? And I will send it out to you. Or at some point, perhaps you can go to nomoreshameproject.com and click on downloadables. And then when you click on downloadables, you'll look for, towards the top, it'll say emotional neglect on the downloadables, and I'll have Harriet upload it there. Okay? Hopefully that's helpful. But I'm gonna go through a screen share right now for you guys. Welcome back, Tony. Welcome. It's my first time on Periscope. I'm so happy you're here. Thanks for all the hearts, you guys, and for inviting everybody. You're very welcome, Amber. Oh my goodness. Joey says, my mother always told me that to quit crying, or they would give me something to cry about. I used to get that too, Joey. And then I would get abused. Now I'm scared to show emotion in public because of fear. So I stuff and I avoid until I'm alone and in a safe place. Is this normal? So I would say, Joey, first of all, you guys, normal is a setting on a washing machine. Normal is not like, what is normal, right? If you're talking about neurotypical, someone who doesn't have any type of mental illness, they are not struggling in any way mentally or emotionally, then, you know, people who are neurotypical and have not lived through decades of abuse and neglect and maltreatment during childhood, especially during formative years, especially within your family of origin, I just wouldn't use the word normal because, you know, again, normal is a setting on a washing machine. It's not really what we're shooting for. But is it natural and common for you to feel afraid to show your emotions because of the way you were emotionally abused and treated from childhood, from a very young age, by your mother? Yes, I would say that it is quite natural for you to feel that. There's always a reaction to something that's happening. The way you were treated was wrong. There was a lot of maltreatment. I happen to have the privilege of knowing a little bit about your story, Joey. You've shared with us here week after week, and then you've also shared privately on the voice message on my website. You guys can always leave me voicemails as well over on athenamoberg.com. I'm the only one that hears them, and I usually will answer your questions here on live streams. So please feel free to leave me those voice messages because I love hearing your voice. And you can also message me like in writing there if that's better for you. But I would say it is natural for anyone who was emotionally abused or physically, verbally, sexually, or otherwise abused during childhood. I would say it's natural for us to not be sure of how to feel in adulthood. Like we sort of like are very reactive. We're sort of hypervigilant. We don't want to say anything wrong. We sort of walk on eggshells, and we lean towards people pleaser behavior, which is very unhealthy for our psyche. So I would say it's natural that you're feeling that way, but it's not where I would love to have you as a practitioner. I would love to have you establishing and maintaining some healthier boundaries with your family of origin so that you can feel all of your feelings so that you can heal and not have to walk on eggshells wondering if you're going to be displeasing one of your family members. So I'm so happy you're here. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Hi, welcome. I'm so happy you guys are here. Oh my goodness, there's so many of you. Thanks for all the hearts and for inviting so many people. And oh no, that's a bummer that it keeps cutting off, you guys. Oh, hi, Shell Bell. Oh my goodness, I haven't seen you in forever. Hi. Oh, thanks for all the hearts, you guys. Hi, Keys21. Yeah. Joey, I would love for you to be able to establish and maintain some healthier boundaries. Yes, you can be emotionally abused by people outside of your family, John Harvey. Yes, yes, yes. You absolutely can be emotionally abused by people outside your family. I'm going to go through a screen share here on YouTube Live, you guys, because I want you guys to know what emotional neglect is. And we're going to cover emotional abuse on another. Oh, cool. This is better than You Now? Oh, my goodness. That's good to know. I thought You Now was like the holy grail of everything, and I just hadn't gotten there yet. I'm not one of the cool kids yet. Yeah, I want you to be able to establish and maintain some healthy boundaries with the toxic people in your lives, you guys, because you'll feel better. Kira says, there was a lot of acting like nothing ever happened in my family and a lot of enabling. Yeah, Kira, that is so common. You'd be surprised, Kira, how often I hear that. I hear that so often from so many people who are, they share their stories. They email me or they leave me a voice message sharing with me how their family of origin, sort of the deepest thing they ever spoke about was the weather. And so no one ever wanted to hear about anything that was happening, whether it was abuse related or a child was going through something, they were struggling with something, they were being mistreated, they were being sexually abused, they were being emotionally abused, physically abused, verbally abused. Everything was sort of swept under the rug. And I'm so happy you're here. Thanks so much for all the hearts, you guys. Yeah, that's very common. And so you're not alone there, Kira. And I'm so sorry that that's what you went through. Hi again, Liz. I'm so happy you're back. Yeah, me too, Sharon. Me too. Jamie says, I resonate with not being able to be angry. The only person I can be angry with in any situation is myself. Oh my goodness. Yes. You guys, a lot of times we turn that anger inwards, and I want to look you in the face here on YouTube Live. Okay, so the reason that we are so okay with being angry with ourselves and not with anybody else is because we know that we're not going to lose us. Like, we're always going to stick around. We're afraid that if we show anger or anything but like, I'm okay, everything's fine, to the people in our lives, then we're going to lose their love, their acceptance, their affection, their approval. We're going to lose their approval. And losing the approval of a loved one, losing the affection, losing the attention of a loved one is, again, when you're a child, it's like cutting off your oxygen. And if you were abused during childhood, oftentimes those feelings carry with you into adulthood, and it feels like your whole world is going to spin out of control if you don't have someone's approval or love or affection or kindness or their attention or just their approval. Basically, it's us needing the approval of others. So I'm so familiar with that. My goodness. Still healing from a lot of that, Jamie. Ooh, Kalisha, you guys, Kalisha posted a great video. It's by a gal named Simi Waters, and it's signs of emotional neglect. And I think they're all tweeting it out over on the Twitter feed and over there in Periscope. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome back, Vinny. I'm so happy you all are here. So Kalisha is tweeting out. Matt is tweeting out. Dawn, Song Warriors, she's tweeting. Everybody is sharing the link here from a gal. Her name is Simi Waters. Y'all, someone should reach out to her and tell her I said hi and that I'm mentioning her. Music does help so much to keep us sane. You guys, hey, Harriet, if you could pop up a YouTube card on this video right here, like up here somewhere, or maybe it's over here. I can't remember where it is, but pop up a YouTube card on the music that helps our healing journey. It's just hugely healing, you guys, for sure. And that is our last question that I'm going to be able to take, because I do want to do a screen share. So, hey, oh, she's from Nigeria. Simi is from Nigeria. So you know what? I wrote the foreword for a book written by a medical doctor. Is it Nigeria? I forgot. I got asked to. It was a book on childhood sexual abuse. and prevention of childhood sexual abuse. And I wrote the foreword for his book, and there's a copy of it going to be sent to me. But it was like such an honor. Hello, it's like a medical doctor asked me to write a foreword for their book. Like, I'm not even traditionally schooled, and so that was pretty amazing. I'm going to do a screen share here, and let me see if I can, I don't know how I can do this for you guys. I don't know how I can do this for Facebook, but I'm going to do a screen share here on YouTube Live, and I can try to figure out how to do it for Periscope, you guys, but here we go. I'm going to read this to you right now, okay? My friends over there on Periscope, I'm going to read this to you. This is a screen share on emotional neglect, okay? We're talking about what is emotional neglect during childhood, how to recognize it in adulthood, and how to heal from it. So I'm going to go ahead and read that to you now. Hopefully you can hear me okay. All right, here goes. Hey, oh, Nancy Day, you shared her music with me before, Dawn, and I loved it so much. Yes, you've shared that with me privately before. Okay, here goes. Emotional neglect. What is it? How can we recognize it? How can we heal from it? We are sisters, Simi. Come on, girl. You know that. I love you too. And thanks for all the hearts and for welcoming people and for being here. Here we go. I'm going to read this to you guys. Can everybody see that? Is the screen share showing up over on YouTube? Thank you, Matt. I'm wondering, can you guys see that on YouTube Live? Hey, if you guys can see my screen share on YouTube, could you all give the video a thumbs up and let me know? Thank you, Kalisha. You're so awesome. Thank you. Okay. As adult survivors of childhood sexual abuse, we often struggle to recognize other forms of abuse and call them what they are, abuse. It is common for child abuse survivors to unintentionally minimize or skim over abusive behaviors from their childhood, especially if they were told during their younger years how they should just be grateful, or that they have a great life and they will never really know what real abuse really is, or that the past is in the past, so just get over it. One of the most painful and silent forms of childhood maltreatment is emotional neglect. It is for this reason, because it's mostly silent and invisible, that childhood emotional neglect is largely an overlooked phenomenon in psychology. Unlike physical neglect or abuse, where there are signs such as bruises or children coming to school underfed, emotional neglect is difficult to identify as there are frequently no observable signs. More importantly, emotional neglect is generally unrecognized by the child until symptoms begin to appear in adulthood. Emotional neglect can take on many forms, from a parent having unrealistically high expectations or not listening attentively, to invalidating a child's emotional experiences to the point he or she begins to feel self-doubt. When a parent is not emotionally attuned to a child, there is no mirror held up, no positive reflection being shared with the child. Developing a positive sense of self then becomes more challenging for the child. Symptoms of childhood emotional neglect that show up in adults may include, but are not limited to, numbing out or being cut off from one's feelings, feeling like there is something missing, but not being sure what it is, feeling hollow inside, being easily overwhelmed or discouraged, low self-esteem, perfectionism, pronounced sensitivity to rejection, lack of clarity regarding others' expectations and your own expectations for yourself. While having these symptoms does not necessarily mean you were emotionally neglected, if you identify with more than one of these symptoms, it may be worthwhile to talk with your therapist about the possibility. What kinds of parents tend to emotionally neglect their children? First, let me say most parents are well-intentioned and well-meaning and generally do the best they can. Some may have experienced emotional neglect themselves as children and therefore may not have a lot to give emotionally. However, there are some parenting styles and characteristics that lend themselves to emotional neglect. I'm going to pause right here. Okay, guys? I just want to pause and I want to say this. This particular article that I'm sharing right now is from goodtherapy.org. Goodtherapy.org. Yeah, I was a numbing fan also. Most certainly, yes, absolutely. So this article in particular was written by a gal named Diane, and she is a therapist in Ashland, Oregon. Hi, John. Thank you so much for being here. It's my very first time on Periscope. I appreciate your support so much. Thank you for the hearts and for possibly inviting people. That would be amazing. Thank you. So thank you so much. So I want to just pause as I read that last paragraph saying that most parents are, yes, goodtherapy.org, for sure. That's where the article came from. And it was written by a gal named Diane from Ashland, Oregon. She's a licensed clinical social worker, or actually she's a licensed marriage family therapist in Ashland, Oregon. And she's mentioning here that most parents are well-intentioned and that they themselves may have been emotionally neglected as children, and so they don't have a lot to give emotionally. And that particular voice that she's writing in, while I do agree with the content itself, and nice to meet you, pharmacist. Nice to meet you. I didn't see who that was. It went away. Sorry, it faded away. While I do agree with the content as it's written, that they might not have had a lot to give, I don't want to ever speak here on this platform on Trauma Recovery University. I don't want to ever say that it's okay that we emotionally neglect or abuse our children because we were abused. Like, there are many of you here on this channel that I see every single week that were horrifically abused and trafficked and neglected and experienced decades of maltreatment, and you somehow managed to raise healthy humans. You somehow managed to not abuse your children. You somehow managed to show your children love and consideration and model healthy boundaries for them, and you did the very best you could. So I don't want to ever just give anybody a free pass. Nobody gets a hall pass at life, okay? We're all responsible for how we raise our children. Just want to go on the record as saying that. So yeah, past abuse is no excuse for abusing your own children, period. I hope I get some hearts for that. Can I get an amen? Can I get some retweets? Good Lord. I can't stand it when people are like, well, you know, they did the best they could. Like, I got told that by a particular therapist. I got told, well, maybe your mom traded you for goods and services and trafficked you and abused you and allowed you to be abused. Yeah, two wrongs don't make a right. Exactly, John. Exactly. But I got literally told by a practitioner, by a colleague who was obviously not trauma informed, that because my own mother was mistreated and she was in and out of the foster care system and was, and all her brothers and sisters were as well, that they didn't know how to raise me, and that's why it was okay that they traded me for goods and services, and it was okay that my mom, you know, allowed me to be sexually abused and allowed me to be physically abused. Was partaking in the emotional, verbal, physical, and emotional abuse of me. And my mom never sexually abused me, but she allowed me to be sexually abused. Like, she sent me out on dates with people. So that's not okay, no matter where you come from. Like, I managed to somehow not lend my kid out for goods and services, and I managed to somehow not abuse my child, and I was raised in an abusive environment. And you guys, many of you, have shared your stories with me, and you managed to raise healthy humans. So there's never a free pass. No one gets a hall pass. I just wanted to go on record saying that. Exactly, yes. So I'm going to go on, and I'm going to read the rest of this article. Hallelujah. Yeah, exactly. High five. We are the ones that have to bear the brunt of it. It's just not right. So here below are the types of parents. I'm going to read to you right now the types of parents that tend to emotionally neglect their children. But again, no one gets a free pass, guys. No one, not me, no one gets a free pass. Number one, authoritarian parents. They want their children to follow the rules, and they have little time or inclination for listening to a child's feelings and needs. As adult, God does know. Yep, he sees it all. They have little time or inclination for listening to a child's feelings and needs, and as adults, children raised by an authoritative parent may either rebel against authority or perhaps become submissive. Permissive parents, number two. Permissive parents have a laissez-faire attitude about child rearing, and they may let children pretty much fend for themselves. Children raised by permissive parents may have a tough time setting boundaries and limits for themselves in adulthood. Parents with narcissistic qualities. They feel the world revolves around them. It is typically all about the parent's needs instead of the child's. As adults, these children may have difficulty identifying their own needs and ensuring that they are met. They may even feel that they do not deserve to have their needs met. The majority of the community that I serve, the adult survivor of childhood sexual abuse community that I serve, many of them struggle to identify their own needs, and they struggle to make sure that their own needs are met. And many of them feel that they do not deserve to have their own needs met. So by process of elimination and deductive reasoning, I would say that many of the people in my community, boom, exactly, John. By process of elimination and just deductive reasoning, I believe it's safe to say that there are a lot of people in my community, the community I have chosen to serve, that grew up with parents that live with pronounced narcissistic traits. So that's heartbreaking, but it is what it is. Number four, perfectionistic parents. They tend to believe their children can always do more and do better. These are the parents who may complain when a child brings home a report card with all A's and 1 B. Children of such parents, me too, John. Children of these such parents may grow up to be perfectionists and set unrealistically high expectations for themselves, resulting in anxiety and feelings of never being good enough. That would be me. And the last type of parent that sometimes is emotionally neglectful towards their children are absentee parents. These absent parents can be removed from a child's life for a variety of reasons, such as death, illness, divorce, working long hours, or frequent traveling. Frequent travel for work. Children of absentee parents end up raising themselves to a large extent, and if they are the oldest child, they may also raise their younger siblings. These children tend to be overly responsible, which may carry over into adult life, and as children, they seem like little adults, overburdened with worry about their families. And if I'm being honest with you guys here, I would say that I actually resonate with little bits and pieces of every single aspect of hey, something's going on. I don't think YouTube's working anymore. Maybe it is. Oh, it is working. Okay, good. I actually resonate with little pieces of every single one of these, which is interesting. All the different types of parents. So again, rarely is a parent only one way. Like humans are multifaceted individuals. They're going to have different characteristics depending on what's going on. Welcome back, Vinny. Thank you for being here and for all the hearts. You're so awesome. So again, I resonate with all the different aspects of this. And we're going to go on to the rest of this screen share, which talks about tips for recovering from emotional neglect while you're an adult. If you were emotionally neglected during childhood, these are some tips that might be helpful. These are some tips that might be helpful for you to heal in adulthood if you have experienced emotional neglect during childhood. So What can you do if you think you may have been emotionally neglected as a child? Here are some tips. Number 1, learn to be aware of the positive and negative emotions when you are experiencing them. Honor your feelings. If you have spent your adult life being disconnected from your feelings, the first step is to learn to identify positive and negative emotion. It is important to acknowledge just good and uncomfortable feelings to begin with. And then once you have that down, you can focus on noting subtler nuances of other feelings. You may not even have words for how you feel, and that is perfectly normal if you didn't grow up in a home where people talked about their feelings. So here, you guys, I'm going to back up real quick, and I want to really focus on this for a second because we need to show ourselves some grace, okay? If you've spent your adult life being disconnected from your feelings, the first step is to learn and identify positive and negative emotions. But it's important for you to acknowledge just good and then uncomfortable feelings to begin with. Like, I feel good, or I feel uncomfortable. And then once you nail good and you nail uncomfortable, then you can start noting the subtler nuances of other feelings. John Harvey says, I ran from my feelings and I really try to ignore them. I know. I did the same thing for so many years, and I still do sometimes, but I catch myself because it's important for us to feel all of our feelings, whether it's we feel good or we feel uncomfortable or we feel angry or we feel sad or whatever it is that we're feeling. Otherwise, if we don't feel all of our feelings, we will never heal. Feel all of your feels so that you can heal. So yeah. Learn to be aware of positive and negative emotions when you're experiencing them. That's number 1. Number 2 of how you can heal from emotional neglect. If you were emotionally neglected during, you guys are amazing. Oh my gosh. They're having a heart competition to see who can put more hearts. I'm so excited. This is amazing. So this is the number 2 way that you can heal if you were emotionally neglected during childhood and you're starting to notice things in a diet. Bye. Bye, Mills. Bye, Mills. It was nice to see you. This is the number 2 way you can heal if you are emotionally neglected during childhood. Many adults who experienced emotional neglect as children are often unaware of what they need, and they typically don't feel deserving of getting their needs met. Develop your emotional vocabulary by researching emotions and needs online. Hi, Silver in the Night. Welcome. I'm so happy you're here. You guys are amazing. Thanks for inviting people and for all the hearts. Wow. And thanks for all the hearts on Facebook too. You guys are so incredible. So yeah, number 2 on how to heal is just to identify your needs, right? And you're going to take steps to meet them. So research emotions and needs online or at the library. And then once you know what you need, then you can take action. Number 3, if you believe you do not deserve to have your needs met, acknowledge the belief and see it as just that, a belief. So if you are feeling like you don't deserve to have your needs met, acknowledge that, and like almost like a science experiment, like, that's interesting. I've noticed that I don't feel worthy of having my own needs met. Like, I need to take a shower, but for some reason I don't really want to take the time to do that. It's going to take too much time. I need to eat because I'm hungry, but I'm too busy. I need to do my job. I need to work, and so I'll eat later. Or I need to shave my legs because I want my legs to look nice when I go out, but it's going to take too much time for me to shave my legs, and so I'll just wear pants, or I'll wear nylons or closed-toed shoes, or like I need to take a minute and paint my toenails, like if you're a girl, right? But that's going to take too long, so I'll just wear different shoes, or I'll just wear something. Like, acknowledge that you're feeling subtly even that your needs are like don't deserve to be met. And once you acknowledge it and sort of look at it, just acknowledge that you're believing it, and that like, wow, it's interesting that I'm believing that. But make sure that you make a note that it's not a fact. It's not a fact that you don't deserve to have your needs met, right? It's not a fact. It is actually just a belief that you're holding. So if you're holding that belief, but but it's not a fact. That means that it can shift and it can change, and we're not putting anything in stone, and that's really, really, really important. So I'm so excited that you guys love the Periscope. This is amazing. I'm so stoked right now. Oh, Facebook is like way down to like 7 people, and Periscope, oh my goodness, you guys, it's been like an hour and a half. Oh, I have 3 minutes to go. I have 2 minutes to go. I need to finish. I always like to stay on 90 minutes, you guys, because someone got mad at me and said that I went 94 minutes. My goodness, they got really mad. So it can be helpful to begin to deconstruct your old beliefs that you've held for a really long time that may no longer be true. Like everyone else on the planet, you have emotional needs that you deserve to have met no matter what you experienced in childhood. Number 4, be gentle with and take good care of yourself, starting with small steps. Adults who experienced emotional neglect as children often have difficulty with self-care. Unaware of their feelings and needs, they frequently don't know where to start. So try treating yourself with the same care and gentleness that you would give a child who was not able to take care of themselves. So be tender and compassionate with yourself, especially if you tend to be really self-critical or judgmental of yourself. So I'm so happy you guys are all still here. Thank you so much for all the hearts. This is unbelievable. But yeah, so be really tender and compassionate with yourself, especially if you tend to be really hypercritical of yourself, right? Or really judgmental of yourself. Yeah, they were super mad when I went 94 minutes. They pointed out, you went 94 minutes and it says that it's 90 minutes, like be respectful. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, right? Okay, so I'm almost done here. I'm almost done. Remember, this is the last point, you guys. Oh, you notice this is like right when the sun starts to shine in my face, so I'm going to stay back here. Remember, this is the last point when we're going to end. Rome was not built in a day. This is a process. What does Katie Morton say? Where are my Kenyans at? Kenyans in the house. Hashtag Kenyans. Katie Morton always says process. This is a process, not perfection. Progress, not perfection, right? So when you skin your knee, like when you skinned your knee when you were a child, you need to clean out the wound and expose it to the light of day. And the same holds true for emotional wounds. Dare to bring the wound out of hiding and give it some light and some air. And then you'll be on the road to healing. Thank you, Shy Sharon. So you guys, this screen share is copyright protected. And it was originally found on goodtherapy.org. And Diane Summers, who is a master's level licensed marriage and family therapist practicing in Ashland, Oregon, is the one who wrote this article. So thank you to Diane. And if anybody knows her, tell her that we talked about her today and her work. And if you want to schedule an appointment with Diane and you live in the Ashland, Oregon area, you can call her at 541-636-2101 and tell her that Athena from Trauma Recovery University referred you. Although, like I said in the YouTube, down in the bottom of the YouTube description, if you have an unsavory experience and not a good, I know, right? Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Diane. If you have a not so great experience with any therapist that I talk about or read articles from, I cannot be held accountable because all I do is I am a fan of their written work. So I think that I am about, it's giving me these weird, it's telling me that I gotta hurry up. My storage is full or something on Periscope. I didn't know that was a thing. But thank you for being here. Thank you for all the hearts. Thank you for all the shares and for inviting everyone. Thank you on Facebook. And I want to look at you guys here. Thank you for being here. You guys are all still here. Oh my gosh, there's almost 40 of you. Wow, and that's just on the app. So thank you. This was amazing. I streamed live on all 3 platforms today, and I'm so excited. My name is Athena Moberg, and I love helping you break the cycle of all things dysfunctional in your life, and I love bringing you a message of hope and healing. That's my thing. That's my jam. That's what I love to do. So thank you for being here to receive this message of hope and healing, and I will be back exactly like this next week. Only living in a different place because I'm moving this week. So please be patient if I don't respond to any messages or tweets or Facebook or anything or nothing. It's because I'm moving again for the 2nd time in a month. So next week I'll be in a new spot, and 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and it's on the topic of when, if ever, should I talk with my partner or spouse regarding my childhood abuse? Because, hello, that was 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. The past is in the past, but I'm still struggling as an adult. I have some mental illness issues. I have some hypervigilance. I have some flashbacks. I have some PTSD symptoms. I have some stuff. I have some stuff that I'm dealing with here in my present day life with my spouse and my partner. And so when, if ever, should I tell them about my childhood abuse, whether it was sexual, emotional, physical, verbal, whatever is affecting you in your adult life? Next week's topic is, that's the topic. When, if ever, should I tell my partner or my spouse about my childhood abuse? So again, thank you so much. I'm Athena Moberg. I love bringing you a message of hope and healing and getting you plugged into virtual safe groups. So thank you for this privilege and for just being here, you guys. I love you guys so much. I'll see you next Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Bye.